Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, we've already seen some intense action between Fnatic and SK Gaming. Fnatic immediately took the series to 2-0 lead, but SK have fought back and won the last match, and now we are on to Game 4 in this championship series. We've got to talk about how these games have started out, because it's always been about those fast pushes and objective controls for SK and Fnatic.
Yeah, and they've been in favor of SK, especially the last game here. 4 turrets, and Fnatic only took 2 in response, and then they fell behind, and all the dragons, you know, they took control of the map from SK's side, took the dragons, and as we talked about, and has also Froggen and Youngbuck said, like the heavy team fight come from SK Gaming here. As soon as they actually got ahead and just started forcing team fights around here, Fnatic, there was little they could do to actually respond.
Do you think we're going to see any different bans or picks or any really different compositions this time around? I mean, we've only seen things that we've already seen from these two teams.
Yeah, so Orianna ban, just like Froggen said, would definitely be an option. I agree with him then, because Fnatic can then first pick in Italy unless SK bans it away, and then from there on, Jess has been very strong on Orianna. Of course, in Italy is his main champ, and Ziggs has been banned away pretty much all the games by Fnatic, so they can just keep doing it and put him maybe on an Ahri where he didn't actually do too much.
Well, I mean, obviously with the Ziggs ban, you do at least take away his main champion. For now, though, before we get into the next match, we want to hear from you guys. These teams are about to begin. We want you to head over to Twitter and tell us who you think will win. Can Fnatic win the championships here, or will SK force them to a 5th game? Send your pick to @LOLEsport using the hashtag SKWin or hashtag FNC. Win, which is obviously for Fnatic. We'll check in at the start of the match to see who you choose.
Who are you going for, Deficio?
Well,
I'm not hashtag Deficio wins again. That was yesterday's news. I mean, it's still hard for me to say, after seeing the first 2 games and how well Fnatic did there, that SK can win 3 games in a row. Just judging off the first 3 games performance. But however, they've got some confidence back after that win now.
And we could also say they should have won Game 2.
Yes,
so they should be 2-1 up.
True.
I feel like Game 2 was just SK giving the game to Fnatic, actually, because they were ahead. They did so well in the early game, and then they had this one bad team fight, no ultimate on Jets. Everything went wrong. They lost from there on. I don't see them do the same mistake again, so I give it to SK this game.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Picks and bans about to get underway for Game 4 of the championship. And, well, will it be SK or will it be Fnatic? Let's see how the bans go. Evelyn taken away from Svenskeren. There's the Ziggs ban once again on Jesus. And Lee Sin also taken from Soaz.
So, standard bans so far at least. I mean, Evelyn been banned away every single game against Svenskeren here. And whoa, it's actually Twitch ban coming in. So don't want to deal with Candy Panda. Still thinking around like he did here. He was the guy who set up the Baron for SK as well when he called out Yellowstar. Killed him straight for Baron.
Yeah, similar thing to Evelyn, you know, even though you can control it, just if it happens once or twice, like you could take Yellowstar out that entire game. If you only did that one thing against Yellowstar there, then it would have been completely different. So, either way, LeBlanc, Sivir, the last 2 bans for SK Gaming, Fnatic first pick Nidalee.
So, Nidalee here. Last time it was picked by a picker, we saw the Ahri being locked in for Jessis to try and counter it, and as we talked about, it didn't actually work out too well. Let's see if he decides to do it again, or if he still want to go back to Orianna, which has been a very strong pick for him.
Lucian being hovered over, going to try and take that one away from Reckless. This time for Candy Panda. And as you just mentioned, Svenskeren on this Kha'Zix. Will he take it away from Cyanide? But we have not been convinced by Kha'Zix and Svenskeren.
I definitely do not feel it's a good idea for him to lock it in. Of course, he can always prove me wrong, but when he's been playing it in the past, not been working out, and also for the team, it's not been working out. They normally want him on this like insanely aggressive early game jungler, where of course Kha'Zix is strong early game, but still his level 6 point is really where the first power spike comes in.
Yeah, played 2 games this season with Kha'Zix, lost them both, and as such switching out to Xin Zhao, a champion which we've already seen from him, of course, in this game already. So that leaves Lucian, Xin Zhao for SK Gaming. Fnatic have Nidalee. Where are they going next?
And let's not forget, Xin Zhao is a champion that works very well with the fast push. It's the big damage dealer early on.
Same thing. Lucian as well, of course, can activate, hit onto the minions, they get his passive going, so he gets a few extra hits onto the turret. So strong lane swapping start here from SK Gaming, and that's where Fnatic now needs to think. Do we want to then go for the 2v2 lane? Do we want to try and force the 2v2 lane, or do we want to pick a strong pushing lane ourselves and therefore being able to actually counter this lane swap.
We'll see what they come out with. Fnatic at the moment are sitting, and this is a lot slower process. We've seen some very fast pick and ban phases in this championship series so far, but they have clearly had to deliberate a little bit over their picks for this game. Fnatic a little bit caught off guard by the fact that they were fairly heavily dominated in that last one. Karma and Caitlyn locked in for Fnatic.
And they fall back now to this very heavy siege comp. We saw it in game 2 as well, where of course it was Severe, which is now banned away instead of the Caitlyn, but still Caitlyn, a lot of wave clear, good poke, very good, especially late game at hitting the turrets from max range here. So Fnatic heavily on towards the siege comp again.
On the other side, SK Gaming locking in that Ahri. Mentioned it before that the Jez has played the Ahri against Nidalee in game number 2, and also bringing out the Sona for Enrated once again. Seen some good crescendos from him on that Sona earlier.
Yeah, and we now again have this thing for SK where if they are ahead, they can just start team fights. I mean, Zona, flash ultimate in there, followed up by Jezzy's, followed up by Svensson jumping in with him. A lot of all-in potential from SK's side. And it means for Fnatic again, as we talked about in game 2, they need to make sure they don't fall too far behind, because then we see the same thing where they just try and defend for a long time until they finally get a good team fight and can try and turn it around.
Well, final choices, looks like it will be 4 ranged champions for Fnatic to push down those turrets, along with some hard engages this time around with that Leona. If it gets locked in, of course, we'll see which way Yellow Star wants to go with this one. Could switch it out, and it is going to be a Lulu, which means we have some crazy, crazy shields, heals, everything going on for Fnatic once again.
Yeah, and I like the Elise pick here. Gonna help in the lane swap early on with the attack speed she can provide to herself.
That's 5 range champions.
In spider form there to actually fast push the turrets a little bit. And as you just pointed out, I mean, if they get ahead of SK here and start sieging down, every single champion can hit the turret, every single champion can poke towards SK Gaming here. So it's gonna be very scary, and they're gonna be forced to just start the fights instantly. And that's where they really need to either land a charm from Jez's, or they need to flash to be ready for ready so he can flash in crescendo and start everything.
All we're gonna see once again is Shyvana for Freddy. He's been his typical steady Freddy self, hasn't he, during this game so far? Got himself good in the lane, get himself tanky, and just do the job that he needs to do. Doesn't need to be flashy, just do your job.
And so far, every time there's been the lane swaps, it's gone in favor of Freddy against this Lulu, because early game, Lulu is very, very strong. Shyvana fairly weak, needs some levels. It doesn't matter, because you're lane swapping around here, so Freddy gets the early game going for himself without any pressure from Lulu. And it's been working out for him, and he's been able to actually push up the wave every single time, and Source would never do anything to respond. And that's the whole thing here. If you see the lane swap from SK, they can do the same thing. Very, very strong pushing early game here also, with Sona providing some extra attack damage and ability power for the team here. So SK Gaming, if they get the lane swap, can do the same thing we've been seeing in the last few games. Get ahead early. Of course, Jez is in the mid lane, gonna be able to push down Nidalee very hard early on, especially if both junglers are in the lanes pushing, so there's no jungle pressure. Normally, you rarely actually see the jungler going in towards the mid lane when there's Nidalee, because she doesn't do anything other than just throw a spear.
So, Karma Caitlyn lane, they want that 2v2 here, surely. Considering how weak Fnatic have been at this whole tower pushing game as well.
They don't necessarily win the 2v2 because of the Sona pick now. Sona against Karma works really well, and of course Lucian is a very strong early game AD carry.
Okay, so let me put it a different way then. Go even in lane, roughly.
I would say go even at least the first few levels, but then I would later on give the favor of Sona, actually.
Okay, then you win that one. You win that argument. But I was going to say, relatively even, or maybe a bit behind in lane, or lose like half your base, like has been happening.
Which I think is going to happen again.
Well, so Fnatic definitely wants standard lanes here. Also, so Lulu in the top lane can bully out Shyvana early on, and of course, down the bottom lane, they just need, with this Karma, with this Caitlyn, there's still a lot of early game power, so yes, as you just said yourself, they should be able to go even.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 4 getting underway in this championship series. Who will be the winner of the spring split here in Europe? Will it be Fnatic? They're 2-1 up so far. They're starting out as the blue team, but SK Gaming have struck back. They have got themselves a win on the board as the red team. And this time around, we'll see how those level 1 plays work out. We've seen a couple of times where they've clashed early on. Fnatic in game 1 picked themselves up 3 kills. SK struck back in game 2, got themselves a couple of kills on the board as well. But look at this. This is the vote from you guys live right now. 84% of you believe that Fnatic will come out victorious.
That's even more than the pre-game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually is. Even though SK did so well in the last game and also the early game, the mid-game, in Game 2, went in favor of SK Gaming, people still believe actually Fnatic is going to take this one. And for me, the lane swap here, the first few levels are going to decide so much, especially because every single time the lane swap has gone in favor of SK, they pulled ahead early game and also just, okay, lost it in one of them, but still, last game at least, they managed to hold on to it.
Well, SK 4-man stacked in the top, Fnatic 4-man stacked in the bottom, and both Jesus and Peke are having a little party in the mid lane. And this is probably how it's going to be for a while, I think, in this game, while they shove on their turrets.
We are going to get lane swaps. We are 100% going to get lane swaps. So let's see now how fast SK can actually push down the turret. Remember, of course, top lane takes less damage here before the 8-minute mark, so it's going to be a little bit harder for them to push it down. But of course, with the Xing Zhao, very strong early game. So let's see who's actually going to come out ahead of this one.
Button has been pressed, and both teams start there to work their way in on towards those blue buffs. Actually, 4 men from SK go into the blue, 3 men on the other side for Fnatic. Reckless obviously wants to sit himself in the lane here and get that wave pushing already as early as they possibly can.
And let's see here. Source is going to move towards the golem. He did the same last time he played Lulu here, just to get some early gold, early XP. And meanwhile, though, Sanad, he might have to go all the way over to his own red buff before he can actually join down the bottom lane. That's of course why Reckless is just building up a big wave so they can take the turret with the big wave and then move on to the next one.
Yep, Svenskeren doing the exact same thing. He's off to the red one, which is why they're holding that lane for a brief period of time. There goes Cyanide round to his red buff. And this mid lane, this pairing, we've seen Nidalee up against Ari before. And actually, Jesus came out very much on top. He bullied out Peke's turret early on.
So farm-wise, they were actually very even, but Jesus got a lot of damage onto the tower and actually managed to take it down by himself as well. And of course, when there's no jungle pressure on you, because you know they're going to be in these lane swaps, or at least you think they're going to be in the lane swaps, Jesus can just push down the wave. But look here. Oh no, never mind. Sana was nearby to mid lane, but decides to go bot to push out the turret.
So, Xin Zhao going to do the same on the top side there. Svenskeren going to join in, and surprise, surprise, we've got 3 men in the top lane, we've got 3 men in the bottom lane.
And 2 top laners in the jungle.
Yeah, let the games commence.
Yeah, almost like we've seen it before.
Yeah, a couple of times already. So, SK have a early start, but Fnatic, as they are on the bottom turret, do get that weaker push, and they are doing a lot of damage down on towards it. Both the top laners yet to join this split push. They're not needed. They're keeping that farm going. So has Pin taken pretty low by the Wolves at the moment, actually. Meanwhile, he needs to be a little bit careful. So, top turret goes down, bottom turret goes down. Fnatic and SK get themselves 1 apiece. Fnatic continue that push, and SK doing the exact same thing in top lane.
So this game, they're actually going to trade tower for tower here. When they actually kill this one, let's see both of them just back away now, because Fnatic can actually do the thing where they go straight for Dragon if someone like Source joins in, but he of course needs this farm here. Once the tower goes down, it seems as though they're very close to each other, just gonna trade, at least for now, tower for tower.
That's how you do it.
Very
That's how it's
beautiful.
supposed to be done. And now we are going to see them both going down here as well. And I like this from Fnatic, leaving that turret up as long as he can, just trying to burn off a bit more farm.
And it's so smart because they want to get the wave to push towards Fnatic here, so Freddy won't be able to just get a lot of farm. And it means also from Lulu, or from Source, standing down here actually, where SK continue to push up, we'll get a bit more XP at least for now than Freddy.
Well, they're going to try to keep on pushing this one. They're not going to get that inhibitor turret down. It is because Fnatic have responded. They're around there in defense, and it only really takes 1 or 2 to keep them at bay. So as will stand his ground on this one. He's up to level 2, but SK are not back in yet.
Now they finally spot out Cyanide and back away. Meanwhile though, Freddy is farming 1v1 against Reckless. Same deal for Fnatic. They always leave him just to get some solo XP, get some farm by himself, where Yellowstar will recall. And look here, the wave is pushing actually very heavily in towards Fnatic here, so it means Reckless can pick up all this farm. It's going to be even harder for Freddy to actually pick up everything. Normally, he could just take the entire wave by himself, all safe. This is actually the thing happening for Source down the bottom lane here. Won't be the same here for Freddy.
Nice little start. So I was just, okay, I'm going to wait this one out. Chill time for him. 15 to 13 CS. He is doing well on that front. If you look at the AD carry, slight lead there for Reckless as Freddy recalls, and Candy Panda now is going to join back in. So SK going to push this lane all the way back out on towards Fnatic's turret. Question is, will Fnatic be there to actually defend it and stop that damage? We don't tell you what, they might be there for a little bit more than that.
Let's see, Cyanide, he can land a cocoon and a lot of damage. Oh, dash already used from Candy Panda.
This is bad news for Candy Panda. He flashes away to the back. Carmen coming from the side. There's the slow. Can they lock him up though? There is the exhaust being used. Candy Panda is going so very low. Couple more hits will do it. Reckless doesn't finish it off, but Yellow Star does. Here comes Svenskun. Freddy has TP'd in there as well. Cyanide needs to land some crowd control, and he does get the cocoon on Enrated. They put some damage back. In the end, it's a 1-0.
So Candy Panda here, he thought it was only Reckless staying in lane, so he dashes instantly towards him, turns around, Karma is there, and then the teleport coming in from source, that's the difference. Yes, he was first of all freezing the lane now, it's obviously pushing in favor of SK, but still, he was all the way up in his top lane, but he had teleport, so he could join in for the fight.
That spear nearly landing as well. Peke beating out Jesus early on in that lane, in the mid lane as well, so a lot of damage on towards him. So, Fnatic have good control, but SK are rotating towards the dragon right now.
And SK actually sent Lucian up to the top lane here. Massive wave for him. Freddy, he won't get any of that CS.
Nope, well, the pressure in this middle turret here. SK just completely circumnavigated the dragon. Look at the damage already here on towards Soaz. And Rated will catch him in as well. Now Freddy comes in from that side. Actually, level 4 here only is Freddy. Soaz trying to dodge him, and Svenskun does go low. Soaz actually flashed away as well. Can Peke escape it? He's level 6. He goes into Cougar form, and he is going to leap away.
Simply greedy for SK Gaming. They thought they could get 2 kills. They get away with no kills. Svenskeren was on one target, and Freddy split off and went for the other. That was a big mistake by SK.
Very good kiting from Fnatic, however, getting out of the situation. Meanwhile, as we talked about, the dual lane from SK is actually gone top lane. Turret is gone, and wow, that's a lot of damage from Jesus.
Yeah, he's just got himself that needlessly large rod, so those orbs, well, when they do the double pass-through, they're doing that true damage on the way back, and it is hurting right now. You can see, actually, that tower already down to half hit points. This was the difference in the last game as well. The charm lands on towards Yellow Star, and again, you see just how much he's shredding through, taking half the hit points off those champions this early level.
But you also see Freddy, he's forced to do his wolf camp at the moment, because where's he gonna go? Bottom lane is pushed too far up. It's gonna go towards him now, so he can get us some farm at least. But Soaz pulling ahead in XP already, because SK Gaming sent Lucian up to the top lane and said, we're gonna give you all the farm.
Reckless is actually pushing things back a little further there, as Jesus, Peke, no real surprise, is just gonna hang around this mid lane, keep lobbing those spears over and seeing who he can catch with those. There's quite a lot of vision down already, especially on this bottom side of the map there. And the dragon, of course, not being taken down up until now. A pink ward just outside of it, one in the death brush, one in the tri-bush as well. And Fnatic now moving an entire team over to middle, ace in the hole, and the spear not quite enough to get the kill onto Enrated. But now they're going to go for Jesus. The leash is going to land. Svenskun coming in, the spear doesn't hit Enrated, just out of range, but they could push the tower.
Yeah, very early on, Fnatic decides to group up and just try and land the spears, doing a lot of poke damage. 4 members is here. Source is in the top lane, there's no teleport, so he won't be able to join in. Oh, Enrated. We need to back off soon.
They have got so much poke coming into this one. You see Karma, the built over Peacemakers, the spears coming out. And I'm not sure if they can really hold on to this tower.
And this is what we talked about in the Champion Select. They've got all their team members. Every single one of them can hit that turret from range. They don't need to get up there. They don't need to be in its face. So as is getting some free time in that top lane, as is Freddy in the bottom. But more importantly, there's a top tower that's being pushed by a minion wave, and that's being lost, which is why you see Candy Panda rushing straight up towards that top.
Simply just want to get a lot more from now, and Fnatic actually decides to back away here once Lucian moved away. They could have stayed around this mid lane and pushed towards the turret once Lucian was gone, because then it would only be Jesus and Svenskun left to defend.
As you see, that top tower didn't take too much damage there from the minions, so I just wanted to push up as much as he possibly can to remove that from possible SK hands. Dragon is surely going to be the...
Yep, Fnatic can just start this dragon here. Sorry to interrupt you, because okay. Lucian is in the top lane by himself. He needs to run all the way down, unless it's 5 members from Fnatic to start up this dragon. Elise is very good at this. She can tank it without any issues. Let's see what they decide to do. Just clearing out wards for now.
Well, they finally pinged on it, so it does seem that Fnatic are going to head towards it. Candy Panda's still sticking in that top lane, and as it stands, that bottom lane's been frozen by Reckless, so he's not in any way to try to push that one back onto Freddy. Candy Panda kind of doing the same thing as well. He's making sure he just does the last hits. Fnatic are moving in towards that dragon.
And there's no level 6 onto Enrated yet, so he won't be able to provide his ultimate. Another call for Fnatic where they actually could have gone for Dragon. Don't feel confident enough yet. Don't actually want a straight up team fight, because again, with Nidalee, you want to land some poke first before you actually go in for the fight here, so didn't feel like starting it. And Candy Panda could then push out the entire wave and now gone back to base.
So let's have a look down the CS here once again. It's Peke in the lead over Jesus. That's something that actually changed up a little bit on the AD carry front. Candy Panda also in the lead, but again, that's just a one wave difference really there that can separate those two. 10 CS lead in the top lane as well, so slight leads in a couple of areas for Fnatic, slight leads on the other side for SK. They're going to keep jostling here for this position. Soaz going towards that top side. He does have TP though, so no real worries for Fnatic on that side.
Jez is getting poked down. Pink wards all being cleared. Oh, Enrated finally catching one of those spears. It's been a long time coming. Svensko also stands on the trap, gets caught by the inner flame and forced to back away, but Enrated can just heal all that damage back up.
There's 1600 gold onto Reckless and 1200 onto Peke now, so if they do fight, they're going to be in a bit of a disadvantage because they didn't shop yet. And the SK Gaming, they're just moving towards this dragon area here. Reckless actually got to recalls, he got to buy items now, it's very good for him. He's going to rejoin in, and they just need 1 or 2 spears and they can actually start the dragon.
Candy Panda down that bottom wave. He's going to clear out that way. Oh, the spear starting off on towards Jez's. Top lane, Soaz making his way down the river. Both, of course, have teleport available, and they've got to be careful they don't leave this middle turret available and exposed. Spear on Enrated once again. That means Fnatic, they're going to push it. They're going to take the mid turret down.
Really nice play here, and Enrated almost walking straight into another spear there as Soaz is actually there. This is an opportunity again for them to start moving towards that dragon area. They've got Lucian on the bottom side, and Fnatic don't look comfortable about this at all.
No, they don't want to start a fight here, especially around the dragon with the crescendo now on Enrated. He can lock down multiple members, and SK Gaming are very strong in a team fight, so they want to poke away a bit more before they actually feel confident starting it. Freddy though, pushing down a big wave here. Teleport is ready, so he can join in, coming from the flank onto Fnatic.
Remember that teleport can get interrupted by both of those top laners. We'll see who fancies it, and again, that spear, it keeps landing from Fnatic, and it's basically stopping SK. It's giving them doubt, but Fnatic are really not looking confident so far.
Well, as long as they can just push up the mid wave here, they're going to get some pressure and they get a few hits onto the turret. They already took the outer turret in the middle by doing this, because SK Gaming are running around this wolf and blue buff camp here, so they're on the wrong side at least, so they need to move around to defend this here, because well played at least by Pikachu to push out the wave.
Reckless also going to be pushing that bottom lane back out. He went back and finished off his Bloodthirster just a couple of moments ago before coming back in. Peke still hasn't shopped though. He's 2,100 gold spent, so he's going to hurt, let's put it that way, when he finally does come back in there. SK here just giving over their blue buff, and then Rater's going to make sure that number one, the dragon's still there, and throw down a little bit of his own ward coverage.
I think Peke is actually waiting till he can afford both Fiends and then getting his large Roger here. Yeah. That's why he's going to just stay farming. Of course, it means for SK Gaming, if they do start a fight now, and this could also be one of the reasons Fnatic decided to back away and just didn't want to fight for the dragon, because again, they want to have these key items, they want to land some poke before they go in for the fights. Otherwise, it's kind of in favor of SK.
SK having a straight-up duel in this bottom lane. Sadly, not of the attacking kind. It's more of the farming kind. And Candy Panda and Reckless keeping their stats padded out. It's actually Candy Panda that's so far heading out that one. SK are starting out the dragon. Fnatic are nearby as well. Both top laners with teleport, of course. Inner Flame, ace in the hole, catching on. Didn't hit N-rated, was blocked off by Jesus, but that's taking SK a little bit lower on the health. They can top it off, of course, with that Sona.
And again, Fnatic can just move towards the mid lane, push out the wave, but Candy Panda actually pushing the bot lane here. He will be able to pick up this turret.
Nicely done from him. Positional advantage there for SK. The rest of the team just stopping Fnatic from coming around. Spear does In fact, come flying through from that one. There is the turret, picked up another spear, almost connected onto Enrater, but we have this entire time Reckless doing some pushing of his own now, moving up. He's didn't want to do that, on towards that inner turret in the mid lane, and with Speke there now, they can maybe do this one. What are SK going to do about it? They're not going to go for Dragon, but they're going to be too late for the tower as well.
Way too late for the party this time around. They're actually looking to try and engage there. They're going to jump on towards Cyanide. There's the 3-talent strike coming in, but it didn't land. Exhaust was used on Svenska, and oh, Crescendo flashed away from, and Yellowstar avoiding that one. It was a turret for turret, but the inner central turret, that's massive.
Yeah, so again, Fnatic, they had the better position around the mid lane, and Peke, he was just zoning them away with spears, so Reckless pushed up the entire wave, and then it was too late for SK to actually react here. They didn't want to go for the Dragon and just trade the turret for the Dragon. It means now, with ultimates down, key ultimates, no ultimate on Jessis, no ultimate on Enrated, and no ultimate onto Candy Panda, Fnatic gets the Dragon, so very good play around the map here, and SK simply didn't know how to react as soon as they got in a bad position.
Soaz is also pushing this top tower, and actually he's gonna take it as well. Did use Wild Growth on himself, which don't think he needed to do. Was more a case of, okay, I'm a little bit worried someone dives on me here, and I've got in just about enough mana to use, so I'm just gonna do it and recall.
And notice how in this game, the lane swaps were very fast. Then they were over, and the top laners actually got to farm. And this means for Soaz, he got some of the time at least where he could be very, very strong here in the early laning phase, and he actually managed to bully Freddy out of the lane and take the turret 1v1.
Yeah, very good stuff and very good signs for Fnatic fans. They are, of course, 2-1 up in this series. They are now 4,000 gold ahead as from SK. And with those turrets starting to tumble, 5-3 in their favor, and of course the build that they have, they're going to start poking and sieging. Of course, with the inner turrets down in the bottom and middle lane, top will be the focus next time around. But Fnatic, they're happy to keep the farm going until they're ready to go.
Yeah, the Death Cap on to Zorz and then the Death Cap on to Xpeki is going to be the two big power spikes for Fnatic and the poke they can do. Once they have them completed and they start sieging up to the turrets, it's where we get the point where one spear, back in base. That's it. And while it might not be the most entertaining thing, it's really, really effective. And there's one.
That was pretty awkward. Stood on a ward, they had vision of him, and he still somehow managed to...
Candy Panda is a man. He'll take it every time.
Yeah, like a man. He's got Sona there as well to heal him up, so he's not too worried about that one. Peke pushing up that lane once again. This time, though, goes flashing by, and needs to be careful he doesn't go too far forward, but at the end of the day, if a spear lands at this point, then it's just bad news overall for SK. Yeah, that's just sidestep one. Yellowstar in there as well. SK edging forward here, trying to get involved as they're going to go into old Freddy on the top lane. Not sure he's getting away. Ace in the hole will finish off there for Reckless.
Love this AD carry gank. He moved all the way from the mid lane up there. Freddy, the turret was already gone because Soaz actually killed it early on. He had 1v1, so he was just open for the gank. SK though, pushing onto this mid turret.
They're going to get the turret down. Now they're going to try and turn on towards it. There's a flash crescendo onto Yellowstar. He's going to go down. That's going to be the top inner turret going down though as Fnatic continue to push. Peke jumps on towards Enrated, gets the claws out, pounces in there, uses the exhaust on Svenska, flashes away from the 3-talent strike, and he just joins the rest of his team. They're going to rotate round now. Cyanide comes in, the cocoon is available. If he tries to throw it out, throws himself in front of the Cullen. Reckless is now joining. Soaz is there. Svenska dives in towards Peke, but he's going to get away with that one. Pounces across, nicely done. Gets the kill on towards him. Now Soaz caught out, or is he? That's the question. The spears come raining through that bush. It's dangerous chasing this Fnatic team.
And Fnatic can just kite for days. As long as the ultimate from Jessis is not there and the Flash Crescendo is gone, they can just kite. We saw it here. Flash Crescendo was used to get the first kill. Same goes for Jessis' ultimate. And from there on, Fnatic just running around in the jungle, in and out, getting the kills. Svenska was like, I'm gonna get you now. Boom. No. Executed by the Q from Nidalee Kuka for him, and he goes down.
Not good news for SK overall. That leaves them now 5,000 gold almost on the dot behind. 6-4 in turrets as well as Jessis finally get himself another blue. We've got the Deathfire grasp here, but I don't know, it's hard for him even, I think, with that, just with the DFG here, to get through the shields, the wild growth, the heals. There's a lot of versatility on this Fnatic team, whether it's mobility or whether it's about defense and offense as well. I mean, we've seen what damage those spears do.
Well, the whole SK comp is around, we need to just instant kill a target before they start kiting against us. That's why the DFG and Freddy very aggressive on Peke.
Jumping on towards Peke, has not really got much to chase in. There's no ghost in there, and Peke can just heal himself up and just chase on towards him. Freddy now in trouble. Peke turning this one on towards him. Cougar form, spear lands again. Now Freddy down to half hit points. That heal will be on cooldown. There he goes, heals himself up. Cougar form pounces in towards him, pulls out the claws, jumps, switches back to form, and he can just pounce straight back on towards him. Freddy's got nowhere to run on this one. Spear comes through, does not land, but the basic attacks as he walks through the minions, walks through the board, and the red buff slows him down. The rest of Fnatic, they're being chased by SK, but they're going to try and turn this one around as well. Peke joining the fight.
Ace in the hole coming through. Peke comes on the side and he snipes off Jesus. Can they get any more here? They've got the slow. They turn towards Peke, who is going to go down finally. But what are SK going to lose for it? They lose the support as well. That is a 4 for 2 in favor of Fnatic. Reckless, crucially, he is still up here. He may be able to do some good damage onto the inhib turret.
And we actually had SK picking up a kill in the mid lane while everything went on here in the top. Jesus used his ultimate, jumped in, got the kill, but then because Peke was already so far up the lane, he could just come in towards the mid lane here, first spear, right in the face of Jesus. He was gone, and then continued to go there. Yes, he died, but still gave 2 extra kills for Fnatic.
6,000 gold lead for Fnatic. Here we go. This is the start of the fight where SK went aggressive on Fnatic.
Yeah, so every time again, the ultimate from Jesus is up. He can join in the fight. He just jump into them, try and get the kill, and Sander actually almost escaping, but then Svensson, last hit, gets him down. And from here, notice your minimap. Peke is already starting to jump all the way down towards the rest of the team, and as soon as he joins in, there's no vision actually. They're spotting with a ping ward, but from here there's no vision on this spear in the face of Jesus. He's gone, and yeah, Peke just sacrificing a little bit, staying around. Very good turnaround though by SK, very good coordination, saying jump him down. Ultimate from N-rated. But it meant they were stuck in the position and ended up giving 2 extra kills.
Dragon actually coming up here in just 5 seconds time. You'll notice on the scoreboard that's a Rabadon's death cap here, 4x Peke now. Someone like Enrique does not want to catch them. They're actually going to catch out Yellow Star here. They throw everything that they've got at him, and Jesus will pick that one up. Does that mean Dragon here for SK Gaming? They're going to have to get rid of XPK here, though, first, I feel. Cyanide is also waiting off to the backside. We see Freddy up at the top. No teleport. Soaz does have a teleport, and he is teleporting into this one. Here comes the damage. Jesus almost goes down from that one. Dragon did go to SK. Svenskun's going to jump in. Reckless Flash. That's going to be 2 kills for SK Gaming. For Fnatic, sorry.
Exactly the same again. You can invest all your ultimates onto 1 kill, but from there on and out, you can't teamfight anymore. You need Zone ultimate, you need our ultimate. It's the same in every fight. Peke just stays around, lands a spear onto Jesus. He's so dead. Beautiful move by Reckless to actually get the last kill here, get the double buff as well. So Fnatic just staying around, even though they lose a member, because SK invests so much to just get this 1 kill.
Yeah, and with that teleport down, it was always going to be a matter of time before Soaz joined that party. And Fnatic now have a big lead. It's a 6,000 gold lead still, 6-4 in turrets, but more importantly, with the composition they've got, they haven't actually had to use this siege comp yet.
Nope.
They've not once had to use it, because SK are chasing this game and actually putting themselves in the dangerous situations for them.
And Fnatic just been poking outside of the map here. They didn't have to go to the turrets, just been poking all the time. And whenever they got someone low, they would join the fight. Oh, and Reddy needs to be careful.
Are they going to go for him? They may well do. There's the spear. He does get himself out of there, though, having to use that Mikhail's to clear the danger.
We're going to see a lot of Banshees here, already going towards it on invaded side. 24 slow, first 4 Candy Panda before he starts thinking about defensive items.
Leaves him open to those spears coming in. We've seen a bit of ward clearage going on the top side of the map there around Baron. We're only 24 minutes into this one. Fnatic have kept a hold of this 5,000 gold lead pretty nicely up until now. As Freddy comes around, he does have himself now the Spectre's Cowl, so a bit of magic resist is what everyone's going to need. As you said, Banshees is basically the stop Peke idea, but this could be dangerous again and rated. Well, wasn't as dangerous as I foresaw that being for him. One reason is that Peke is down in the bottom side of the map here, in that bottom lane, and he's just going to push straight up here.
And jump.
It's alright, we didn't see that.
Nope.
No, fail jump. Nobody noticed that one. It's okay. Baron started off. That's going to put a poke on towards Yellow Star. Gets a little cheeky hit on him. Peke stealing away this blue buff, though. Not in sight of any ward, so that's going to be given across to free to him. SK, though, still despite the fact they have 6,000 gold, they're still playing fairly confident in this one, and they are looking to try and make those engages. If they catch out Fnatic in the right situation,
exactly,
even in a 4v5, it will cause a big problem. If that crescendo can land across multiple members of Fnatic, it could cause problems.
And there's Flash ready on for Enrated here, so he can engage the fight if he wants. So that's why SK can actually move out here and look for someone from Fnatic being out of position, then try and jump, get the kill, and then go straight towards the Baron. Because remember, Xpeke, no teleport, and he's actually the one who's been split pushing. He's moving in towards the team now, though. As Candy Panda split pushing, Fnatic might want to start a fight.
Moving in from both sides here, Peke gonna let that minion wave go through, almost connected in, but Soaz at the backside, catching out Enrated. Jesus is in the middle of nowhere, Crescendo was already used, Jesus goes low, Jesus goes down, and now they're going for the rest of the team. Enrated is super low, the exhaust was on towards Freddy, and that's enough to actually get the kill. Meanwhile, Peke chases in, point blank spear will take down Enrated, ace in the hole, means a triple kill for Reckless. That's 4 men down. What are Fnatic gonna do with this? 30 seconds until some of these players are coming back up.
The second Candy Panda showed in the bottom lane. Peke, he went straight for the mid lane. They wanted to start the fight here. Caught out SK. The Crescendo had to be used just on the swords to try and escape. It wasn't up here. And then a spear onto Jesus. He was down to like, what, 5 HP? And then boom, instant going in, gets a kill for Reckless. And they can go straight for Baron now.
Yeah, the red buff on Reckless was enough to tick that down. Fantastic stuff. Fnatic move in for the Baron. Not really going to be any response from SK Gaming. They're all going to be running out of the base, but they will be gone before they even get out of there. There's going to be the teleport from Freddy, but he is way too late to this one. Candy Panda's coming in with him, but they are running blind into 5 members of Fnatic, who are going to try and turn this one back around. They know that SK are all back up, and Fnatic choose to disengage.
And I must say, I'm not too big of a fan still of Jesus on Ahri. It's, for me, he doesn't actually do the impact he needs to, and he needs his ultimate so much. Whenever it's gone, Fnatic can just kite it around for days. Unless they instant kill all the targets they need, the teamfights will always be in favor of Fnatic.
I've got to be honest, when it comes down to these big matches, it's all about the superstars. Can they perform? 5-1-7 for Peke, 6-0-4 for Reckless. You're damn right they can perform.
Yep.
Soaz, he's been playing brilliant. He's played Lulu, and he's been playing brilliantly on it. He's 007 right now, James Bond. And looking towards SK Gaming, you'll be looking towards, what, Svenskeren, Candy Panda, maybe even Jesus. But at the moment, not one of them is performing. Candy Panda's really the only one holding true.
He's actually trying some
And he's
gonna recall.
Possibly gonna die here.
Spam.
Oh, he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah, that's one of Candy Panda.
Kite.
He's good. Yeah.
Uh-oh, not the jungle.
That'll be a Reckless. Peke secures that one. Meanwhile, Soaz actually killed Freddy 1 versus 1.
No problem.
Oh my god. Soaz is so fed. Look at his death cap, void staff, everything just to kill Freddy every single time.
Oh god.
Oh, you're on a
This is
ward.
not working out. They're stood on top of the ward. They do sweep it down, but it's a little too late. Oh, the inner flame doesn't quite land. The spears come through. Jez is almost getting one shot. Ace in the hole comes through, finishes the job. Crescendo being used by Enrated purely defensively. Svenskeren gets caught out, and well, Fnatic continue to shove on through. Soaz chasing in. This is going to feel bittersweet for Enrated, I'm afraid. His former teammates chase on to warm him, and that is going to be the surrender vote. Fnatic are the world champions. They are the champions of the spring split.
Well, the European champions, at least they did it again. Fnatic, man, you always know when to play good.
And they deserve this one as well. No team has been this dominant in any place in the world in League of Legends. Spring split, summer split in 2013. Spring split here in 2014. Absolutely incredible record that Fnatic have in the LCS.
And Team pretty much said it during the game. You need your superstars to perform in these important matches. And every single time Fnatic are playing the finals, Peke does well. Reckless now, of course, still the new guy in Fnatic, but coming in here, performing so well the entire season. And he didn't step down his playoffs at all.
Yeah, Fnatic were brilliant in this performance, but SK Gaming, runners-up in the playoffs. They finished first in the league, and they came from the promotion series. They were 2-0 down. It has been an epic journey for this team that really have pulled together as a team. You know, a lot of people have been saying that they're not the strongest players, and they're not. Each lane, if you look at it, there's probably someone better in some teams around the LCS, but as a team, they really can pull together. You saw it in game 1, how long they can hold out. This game, pretty much the confidence was shot towards the end there. They tried to make a couple of plays. They backfired. They got caught out. And obviously, it looks like a bit of a show match once Peke starts to land those spears.
Yeah, in the end, I mean, a bit too one-sided for Fnatic. Yeah. But if you look at if you look at SK's performance in general, they have been so good this season.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, though. We are going to go across the stage because Shox is standing by on stage with the Spring Split champions, Fnatic.
An applause is in order for these guys, the Spring Split champions once again, Fnatic. Peke, you guys weren't able to take down SK since week 1 in the regular LCS. Why is it that here in a best of 5 you guys can do it?
In week 1 we just stumped them actually.
All right.
They said that in the video, I remember, I was watching the video. But I don't know, I think at some point we were like really high, we went to the bottom and now we have come back to the top.
If you should make a summary of this best of 5 versus SK, where did you guys have the edge over them? A summary of the best of 5 right now, how did you guys have the edge over SK?
I think like we pretty much did really good pick all the games, and except for the game 3, we did perfect rotation, had the upper hand in advantage in objectives all the time, except the second game, which they did, but they didn't push the advantage, so they just let Opin idly snowball the game at some point.
Reckless, how was this series for you? Because that bot lane matchup was a very anticipated one.
It basically felt like I played it versus myself. Candy Panda is basically a mirror of myself. We have the same playstyle, the same champion pool, and it's just I can't expect what he does and he expects what I do, and then it just ends up being nothing because we don't know where to go. It's kind of weird.
So this means that you guys are the champions once again. This also means that you've locked in your place for All-Stars and the All-Star Invitational. Reckless, you were going because you were at the top of the standings. Is that important to you that also the people at home recognize, you know, your skill?
All that matters to me is that we perform as a team, pretty much. The fact that people recognize my performance and vote for me in All-Stars is just kind of heartwarming. It shows that people see what I'm doing and they like it. So I think it's pretty cool, but my main goal was just to go as the team. So winning here today meant a lot.
Absolutely, you guys performed fantastically as a team once again. You guys are going to the All-Star Invitational, teams like TPA, OMG, SK2T1, international experience. How are you guys going to do there, and how important is it for you guys to go there?
I don't know, it's really important for sure. It's really, really important, but it's going to be crazy to prepare for them because, again, international tournaments is so hard to prepare. I think the first game we go there is going to be like, we're going to have our strategy, think that we know what they play, they're going to pick something else, and it's probably going to just go crazy. Like the first games, I think they're not going to be anything like LCS.
Reckless, you get to see your buddy Doublelift.
Well, me and Doublelift has our relationship already, so looking forward to meeting him again. But overall, the All-Stars tournament, playing against Piglet, for example, is going to be a huge step forward in my gameplay, even if I don't do that well. But I actually think I'm not that far behind of him. So I think I can catch up and keep up in the games with him and maybe learn 1 or 2 things from him. So looking forward to it.
All right. Finally, is there anything you guys want to say to your fans that have supported you through the ups and downs this season or this split?
Well, they got 3 split in a row, so
yeah.
I guess I can be happy with that, no? No, thank you for the support anyways. It's really cool to see people coming every weekend. Like every weekend, I see a lot of signs, at least 2 or 3, and a lot of people wearing Fnatic stuff. Thanks.
Guys, one more time for Fnatic. Once again, your champions here in the Spring Split.
Thank you very much, Shox. And with that series concluded, Fnatic finish as the champions of the Spring Split and will be representing Europe at the All-Star Invitation in Paris, France, alongside Taipei Assassins, SK Telecom T1, OMG, and of course, the winner of the North American playoffs, which will be happening this weekend.
That win also means that as the players who receive the most votes from you for the All-Stars, Diamond and Froggen will join Team W, Xiaomei and Wei Zhao from China, the Saigon Jokers, QTV and Archie from Southeast Asia, and CJ enters Frost, Madlife and Shy from Korea to become team members on the 2 All-Star Challenge squads.
Yeah, and those 2 teams will be rounded out by a pair of North American pros who will be decided with the conclusion of the North American playoffs, and they will compete in a challenge mode at the start of each day in Paris. That all begins on May 8th, and with 4 days full of action from teams around the world. You really don't want to miss it.
Well, while we're talking about the players who'd like to single out one pro from these playoffs who helped take their team to the championship. So our MVP for the Spring Split playoffs is Fnatic's Reckless.
So well deserved. I mean, his KDA 29, oh yeah, his score actually is 29 kills, 3 deaths and 26 assists in the playoffs. He played Kate, Lucian and Sivir. He had the least deaths in the playoffs and also the highest KDA in the regular season with 6.92. And of course, goal per minute, almost 5 goal per minute, 493.4.
Yeah, he was
a lot.
Absolutely fantastic.
That's quite a lot of goals.
That is a lot of goal, Reckless. And this is his first season in the LCS. He had to wait a year. He played at IPL 5 for Fnatic, got second place for the team there, and really was a phenom back then. He had to wait to come of age, came of age just towards the group stages of the World Championships, but obviously they stuck with Pushu, got third place in that World Championships, and now he feels he has to perform. And we just heard him talking about it there, how he's looking forward to coming up against the Season 3 World Champions. Piglet as the AD carry. He's got a number of big names in there. Wei Zhao going across. He's going to meet all the big stars, of course. It's a fantastic performance from this young kid, basically.
You've got to wonder how far you can grow, because at 17 years old, you're not at your height of competitive play, in my opinion. You're going to develop mentally, you're going to develop physically, which plays a little bit less of a role, of course, but he's got still a way to improve, and it's kind of scary, really, to wonder where Reckless is going to be on what level in a year or two's time.
Well, the biggest thing for him is getting experience. Like, as he just said himself, playing against Piglet, for instance, seeing what does he do in these like small situations, because mechanically, he's very skilled. And that's something that's going to be very hard for him to improve further on, because he's already so good, and you can only be so good mechanically. So it's more about seeing different scenarios over and over, playing against a lot of different players. All of a sudden, one of them will beat you, and you're going to be like, oh, what went wrong here? And then you talk with the player, you see what went wrong, and then you learn from it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how Fnatic deal with the Season 3 World Champions, the Season 2 World Champions. Of course, they faced TPA at IPL 5 and came out victorious there. They faced a big OMG as well, Team WE way back then as well. A lot of big matches coming up. That's going to be happening in May, and the LCS action will be continuing on Friday when North America begins their spring playoffs, with the quarterfinals kicking off with CLG versus Coast, and that will be followed by Dignitas versus Curse.
Yeah, and the winner of the first match will then face Team Solar Mid, and the second winner takes on Cloud9 in the semi-final. Those quarterfinal matches begin tomorrow, right after a preview show at 8:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time, which is 11:30 a.m. Pacific.
And we'll return next Thursday with the Summer Promotion Tournament. That will kick off with the first best-of-5 series on Thursday between Millennium and Ninjas in Pajamas.
And on Friday, we'll have 2 best-of-5s with the Super Hot Crew versus Cloud9 Eclipse, followed by Copenhagen Wolves versus Denial. The winner of those games will move into the European LCS and compete in the Summer Split, so there's a lot on the line. That begins next week on Thursday at 5 p.m. Central European Summer Time, which is 8 a.m. Pacific, and seats are still available for that tournament, so check out the tickets link on lolesports.com and come join us here for the action.
And that does it for us as we close the door on the 2014 Spring Split. But with the European Summer Promotion Tournament and the All-Star event right around the corner, we'll see you again very soon. Special thanks to our guests on the analysis desk, which was Youngbuck and Froggen for joining us today, and for myself, Joe, Deficio, Quickshot Shocks, and the entire LCS broadcast team. GG, and thanks for watching.
Grand Skyfall in the mid lane!
Going on towards Mr. Ralas, unstoppable force finds him!
Combo!
This could turn out horribly for Fnatic. It's going to be a double kill! The Super Mega Death Rocket! The hook on Reckless, Granton off the side, he's just taken them down one by one! A triple kill comes from Granton! Super Mega Death Rocket going through! Wow, brilliant! They're going to turn back on Alex Inch, he's taken low, the death at the top! Beautifully done from Mixer!
Now the Wolves turn around, Amazing goes in, what an amazing kick that was!
That's what you get with the Warrior!
does himself favours. I'm not too sure if this is going to quite be enough. The Lantern flash run nip. But look, it's a double kill for Genja. Unlimited gets pounced on. Diamond gets himself a kill in towards. It's a triple kill. He's going to go for it. Forgiven goes down into Quadra. Can they get the Penta on Youngbook? One more shot. It's a Penta kill for Genja. So comes the round. He's going to get the sweep and oh my God. What the hell is going on? Dark Mighty back up on cooldown. Brilliantly done. The college just wrecking from Reckless.
Fnatic are on the Nexus Stone. This is them going to the finals.
That's a great crescendo. It's 3 men. They've got 1 kill. Make that 2 now. And we're through into the grand final tomorrow. Reckless now on a rampage. Jesus as well. He goes down to Reckless as well. Freddy caught in the middle. Feared up for days. And he will fall down as well. That is going to be the 8th. Ace in the hole coming through. Beckett goes down the side and he snipes off Jesus.